Hello everybody, my name is Ruth Wesley. I was talking about King Philip today. King Philip was the king over Spain for 42 years. He spread Spanish influence and strengthened the Catholic Church. Now today I'll be talking about if he was a good king who was just and fair, or was he a bad king. In my opinion, I think he's a good king, but he wasn't fair in a sense. He was good as in he cared about his kingdom, he cared about governing, and he wanted to govern, but he wasn't fair because he did do some unfair tactics. And this is why I think he was a good king. He devoted most of his time and dedicated most of his time to ruling his kingdom and governing it. He, as stated in the passage, absolute monarchy in Spain and France under a dedicated ruler. He reigned as an absolute monarch, claimed divine right like his father. He was hardworking, devout, and ambitious. Unlike many other monarchs, Philip devoted most of his time to government work. He seldom hunted, never jousted, and lived as simply as a monk. The king isolated somber palace outside of Madrid, known as Escorial, reflected his character. It served as a church, a residence, and a tomb for the royal family. So this shows that he was dedicated to keep his time and taking out his time to take care of his kingdom. A real true king cares about this. A real king cares about taking care of their kingdom and making sure it's fine. That what makes a good king. And that is why King Philip was a good king, because he took his time out of the day to make sure his kingdom was safe. He made sure his kingdom was governed well. And he made sure that it was kept up. Now, this is why I think he's unfair. King Philip he didn't want his kingdom to fall apart, so he religiously united all of his people under one religion, which was Catholic. Many people wasn't Catholic. Some were Protestants, some were others. So they didn't go under the Catholic religion, which made a lot of them turn away from King Philip. As stated in the passage, within his empire, Philip enforced religious unity, turned the Inquisition against Protestants and other people thought to be heretics. I mean, he turned his back on other people. He made other people feel like they wasn't treated fair mostly. He turned his back on those who was Protestants and others who they believed was heretics. If they wasn't, they had to be under Catholic, and they were forced to be Catholic, which wasn't fair to others, because you shouldn't treat one over the other. It wasn't fair to make everybody go into Catholic, because not everybody's Catholic back in that time. He also did a lot of wars. He fought a lot of wars to advance his Spanish Catholic beliefs. As stated in the passage, Philip fought many wars to advance Spanish Catholic power. And the Mediterranean, Spain, and its Italian allies soundly defeated an Ottoman fleet at the Battle of Lepanto in 1571. Although Christians held this as a great victory, the Ottoman Empire would remain a major power in the Mediterranean region for 3 more centuries. During the last half of his reign, Philip battled Protestants and other rebels in the Netherlands. At the time, the region includes 17 provinces that are today Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. It was the richest part of Philip's empire. Protestants in the region resisted Philip's effort to crush their faith. Protestants and Catholics alike opposed high taxes and automatic Spanish rule, which threatened local traditions of self-government. So the people he raised the taxes, that will turn a lot of people's backs on you if you raise taxes. I guess it was for a good cause, because the economy of Spain needed a good economy. The only way to have a good economy is through money. So I guess raising taxes will make sure they have good money, but the people will not be able to afford taxes. Which brings in the last war, which was the War of England. The queen of the time at that time was Queen Elizabeth I. She was a Protestant, meaning to him she was an enemy. So he went against war. He felt confident enough that he was going to win, but he lost the war, meaning that he lost the war at Spain's passage, the Spanish Armada. Philip saw England's Queen Elizabeth I as chief Protestant enemy, which he did. To end England attacks through the Dutch, Philip prepared a huge armada or fleet to carry a Spanish invasion force to England in 1588. The Spanish armada sailed with more than 130 ships, 20,000 men, and 2,400 pieces of artillery. The Spanish was confident of victory. When we meet the English, predicted one Spanish command, God will surely arrange matters so that we can grapple and board them, either by sending some strange freak of weather or more likely just depriving the English of their wits. Meaning that they felt confident that they were going to win this battle, but they didn't win, which led to the decline of Spain. Spain's economy declined. They had economic problems. After King Philip passed, his successors stepped in, but they were not as good of a ruler as he was, so Spain declined even more. So that is why I think he wasn't fair. I still think he was a good king, but he wasn't a fair king. He did unjust and unfair things, but he was a good king in the way of him wanting to keep his kingdom safe and want to govern it right. That's where he was a good king at, but he was unfair and unjust with him only letting Catholic be the only religion and not let everybody else have their own religion, let them worship their own religion. That's why I think he was unjust and unfair, but I still think he was a good king. So this concludes the video. Thank you for listening and see you later.